This is Valley of Tears from M&P Games. It's part of the Battalion Combat series. We're looking at the situation on the Sinai front at the end of day 3. The Egyptians have crossed the canal in force and achieved a lot of their objectives, but they've still got quite a few to go. They'll be trying to battle towards the remaining outstanding victory hexes in the next few turns. They really do have to stay under their SAM belt, because if they don't, they get quite a severe penalty for the loss of their 1 activity rating. The front has been fairly active. There's been sporadic tank battles, tank and infantry assaults going off all the way up and down the front, with a bit of exchange territory and objectives. The Israelis have brought in a lot of their reserves now. They have got a continuous front, which is just something they're going to do temporarily. They're going to obviously try and get together a strategic mobile reserve, and then punch a hole through this Arab force and try and reach the canal for a crossing. The first area they're probably going to have a look at is the gap between the second and third armies here. There's a lot of Israeli units and very, very little Egyptian stuff there. So they can punch through to the Bitter Lakes and make sure these two armies can't cooperate. This on the Israeli side of the canal. If you look at things I'd say about the Israeli army, its superiority to the Arab army consists in the activity ratings, which are consistently higher. The main difference I've found that gave the Israelis a massive advantage at certain points was the fact that on the mobile side of an Arab armour, they have no range. So therefore the Israeli units could simply get into range, usually 2 hexes, though I think there are the odd tank with 3 hexes. And then they could just fire at the Egyptians without them being able to fire back. That caused the Egyptians quite a lot of casualties on day 2. The Egyptians have now got their armour deployed onto its combat side rather than on its mobile side. So in that state, the Egyptian army is as capable as the Israeli, pretty much as capable as the Israelis. Very little difference, apart from a lower activity rating and slightly lower gunnery rating. That's due to the fact that the Egyptian forces were mainly equipped with T-55s against the Israeli modified Pattons and come on, I've forgotten the name of the British tank now, Centurions. Other things I'd say about the Israeli army is they've got better command range on their HQs. They have they're slightly more mobile in terms of speed. The big advantages they have is all Israeli units are buddies, and Israeli units do not suffer from isolation. So that means they're much more flexible in the way they can maneuver on the battlefield, whereas the Egyptians do have to stay close to their HQs. The Israeli Air Force is also better. It has far better capabilities, and it also has a system of replacements, which the Arab Air Forces don't. The Israeli armoured recovery and stuff like that, and availability of replacements is far superior to the Egyptians and the Syrians, so they're able to replace their losses much more effectively. The big advantage the Egyptians have is the sheer amount of infantry. They have huge quantities of infantry, which the Israelis don't, which is a reflection on the fact that Israel hasn't got a large population, and it also had a tank doctrine where the money was put into building up a very powerful armoured force, which is reflected in the counter mix in this game. So all in all, I think the Egyptians have done pretty well. They, I'm not entirely sure how far they got on the first day, but I think the only area where they have done badly was here, where the Israeli territorial 275 was able to respond almost immediately on the first day and do a lot of damage. Well, mainly on the second day when it managed to catch an Egyptian tank brigade in its mobile state, so it just really massacred it. And that's it for the Sinai. As I say, I think the initiative is switching over to the Israeli side now, very slowly.